Would you like to know about flexible working during your menopause? Would you like to know what successful flexible working looks like for you at this specific time in your life? Well, you're in the right place because this series of videos is all about flexible working during your menopause. Now, you might want to go back and look at the first video, which is what's the difference between working from home or remote working and flexible working. So flexible work arrangement. They are distinctly different. So go back and take a look at that and then come back to this one. Now, my name is Kate Usher and I'm a menopause coach and change strategist. And I work with women to enable them to gain control and to have modern menopause conversations, both at work and at home, and to ensure that they keep their ambitions and their relationships on track. I also work with organisations and managers to enable them to create female and menopause-friendly organisations by implementing easy and impactful strategies that empower women throughout this phase of life. So, on to today's video. Well, so what does successful flexible working look like? Gosh, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Successful flexible working is all about what you need to enable you to do your work. So it's time to start to look at what you need to do on a day-to-day basis, and also what your job entails, what do you do, what kind of hours do you do, what is the core that you need in order to interact with your team or the people within the organisation. And then at the same time, it's about understanding your needs as an individual. So what are your needs? And we talked about this in the last video. So when are you at your best? When are you able to do your best work? And with that in mind, once you've got those two pieces of information, you can start to see what it is that flexible means for you. So are you better at certain times in the day? Are you better? Are there core times when you really do need to interact with people? So for instance, if you work with a specific part of the world, so Australia, you'll be working very early in the morning. The US, for most of it, you will be working from sort of just after lunch onwards. So that's mainly the East Coast and the West Coast. It'll be later on than that. So it is very much about understanding the impact that flexible working will have, and also it's a business case. So you're looking at what it is that's needed from you as an individual and as an employee. So the CIPD have just released a report saying that during the pandemic, one of the biggest issues that they have found, and it has played out during prior to that, and with women who are on flexible work contracts, that they have a propensity to work longer hours. So this is not an excuse for you to work longer and longer and longer. This is about being very clear about when you work and how you work, and ensuring that both you and the organisation you work for get the best of that time. So women tend to bring more home, so they work the hours that have been agreed, and then they do have a way of working longer and longer hours. So it means that in the end, if they've done it in order to spend more time with their children, that they're spending less time with their children. Or if they've done it so they can do some caring duties, then the caring duties start to get compressed. And so you have to be very, very strict with yourself about when and how you work, because most people will be working the core 8 hours or 10 hours or however long your organisation works in a day, and they will be having an expectation that you will pull that time and work through that. But if you have a flexible working arrangement, then it's very much about saying that these are the times that I'm working and letting everybody know that, letting everybody know why this is different and sticking to it. Now, your company culture might be that you have an understanding, you've got many people on flexible working contracts, and that workplace flexibility is a normal thing for you. Many working flexible hours, whether it be the evening or the early morning, depending on whether they're a lark or a night owl, for instance. And it might be something that's part of your organisation's belief system and value system, that it gives people equality and enables them to define how they structure their day. So it could be that that's the kind of organisation you work for. And if that is, then the culture will adapt very easily. However, if you've had a very much a 9 to 5 culture prior to that, suddenly one person or two people on flexible working hours may find it difficult. So it has to be set out, agreed with your boss, and you yourself have to police it so that you are not drawn into working longer and longer hours. And I've known women work 15-hour days, which is nuts, and that cannot be sustained and should not be sustained. So it is very much about understanding your limits, sticking to them. But having said that, when it works, it is incredibly empowering for women. And the other advantage to this, which is rarely discussed, is that it puts out a signal for younger women joining the organisation that the organisation looks closely at gender equality and gender issues and ensures that women are supported through the phases of their life. By all means, go back and look at the last video, but the next video, it's all about how to ask for that flexible working. So tune in, make sure you subscribe. Love to hear your thoughts on this, and I will see you next time.